Okay.
Hi, everyone.
Guess I don't need to have the coffee.
All right, so hi. We are a team of 5. We're missing our fearless leader, Regina Karan, who came together this past summer and formed a team and applied for the American Association of Colleges and Universities, so AAC&U's. What is it? It's the Institute on AI, Pedagogy, and the Curriculum. So it's an annual year-long institute that is happening for the 2nd time this year. To our delight, we were accepted. And, sorry, I'm out of breath from like running back and forth. Yay, we were accepted. So we have been working on a project since September when the institute launched, and that we're going to be working on throughout the year. And we are here to give you a very brief introduction to that project.
Great. Do we have a slide?
Oh, I have the slide.
Oh, thanks. Okay. We asked AI to generate cartoon images of ourselves, so you can tell who we are, not just in real life. I'm Allison Thomas. I don't often wear bows in my hair, but I do often have plants behind me, so this is it's from a plant. My email is athomas@American. Maybe you've heard me talk before because I've been on the circuit talking about AI since March 2023, when the first case of academic integrity issues of AI misuse came up. And since then, I've been thinking, eating, sleeping, breathing, researching, and working with colleagues to learn more about generative AI and its place in the university. Luis and Anna and Mike and Regina come from other areas of the university, and I would say, and their titles are here, but I would say one of the things I noticed right away in March 2023 was, as someone who is sort of asked to answer questions that had to be solved quickly, and remembering that universities move very slowly, I felt like I needed help, I needed colleagues, I needed support, I needed conversations. And I didn't always have the right channels. Like, I didn't really find the structure in the university that I needed to get that help and to get that support. And I feel like for me, that's how I met Michael. That's how Luis and I had other connections, but Anna and I had started working together. And Regina in cyber policy and privacy, I didn't know at all, and realized these were connections that I needed to be able to do my work, to be able to think about ethical use of generative AI, and to help our community really deal with some of the questions about what responsible use, what irresponsible use look like, and what we do, what we want to be doing in response to those things. So this is our team, and I will pass it over.
That's me. Okay. Yeah, so as Allison said, this thing came up very organically. Steve Munson, the CIO, I think reached out to Regina first, and then through our loose networks, we kind of formed this team. And we applied, and we wrote a thing why we should be in this institute. So to tell you a little bit about the institute, Anna mentioned it's a year-long thing. There are 191 other schools and colleges in the institute. They have faculty mentors. I don't know how they were selected, but ours is really good, so I'm not complaining about it. There are 64 of those, so we are kind of in a loose team with us, Bucknell, UMD, and Cornell. And we have a number of touch points throughout the year. We started with a 2-day, really intensive kickoff with lots of activity, lots of going back and forth, lots of presenting, lots of thought exercises, etc. And it was really nice. We have a winter meeting. It's on January 9. We come back together for another all-day exercise. And then we have our capstone in April. So it encompasses the academic year very nicely. And what else? There are just so many webinars that they're giving us, which is really great. And they do record them all, so we're trying to catch up. I don't know if you guys are, but man, there's one a week at least, which has been really, really nice. And there's also a very active discussion going on throughout all the time, not just within our 4-school group with our mentor, but throughout the entire 191 institutions. So it's been really fruitful so far. We're learning a lot. I hope we're learning a lot. And what we are doing specifically, Luis will be able to tell you about.
All right. So our next slide covers the 5 core goals of our project that guide our project. So can we show the next slide, Hannah? All right, so we'll start by collecting information, defining shared language. As we're finding, people use the term AI to refer to different things across campus. So that will allow us to identify the current concerns and uses of AI. Then we'll move on to mapping the activity, what's happening in the classrooms, in research projects, in administrative units, to sort of get a clearer institutional picture of the innovation landscape at AU. Then as we do this work, we'll identify, and I think we're identifying already champions in AI at AU, and so we'd like to create platforms for those champions to connect with each other and share, but also amplify their work. We'll engage campus leadership to make sure that our project is in alignment with AU's strategic plan, also to secure visibility and support. And then we aim at establishing a steering committee, and that would be a representative body that helps not only foster, but also sustain collaborative projects, initiatives, and also make sure that the hub continues to evolve in this fast-changing landscape in AI in education.
All right, this is our final slide. And so what we are setting out to do next is to begin collecting information and mapping the AI activities around campus, mainly so that we can know about each other and connect. And particularly one of the things that we're interested in doing almost immediately is to create a shared calendar for AI-related events, both so that we can coordinate them and prevent conflicts in time, and also learn from each other and cross-market these events. I think it's going to boost attendance at all of them as well. Not that we need that, but we do, actually. It would be great. And so we want to engage you as a community in this task. And so we've created a very simple form. It's not a survey, it's more of a form, which is essentially a survey. I'm not supposed to say that. And so you can find it through this QR code. It will ask you if you know of any initiatives in your unit, any committees, any working groups, any informal groups, and you're willing to share who they are, who the contact people for those groups are, whether you're interested in joining this joint calendar, if you're involved in planning AI-related events, and a few other questions, just for us to kind of create a map of what's happening around AU, and then ultimately use that information throughout the year to begin connecting with all of you and creating that calendar, and then also, hopefully at some point, creating some form of hub where we can all connect easily around these issues as a community. Thank you. And if you have questions.
We have time for one.
You answer it.
Thank you. I have a question. Is there going to be an AI class for every student to take, maybe during orientation or something like that, and also one for faculty?
Can we, yeah.
I just want to have a basis
we
for what we
don't
can
know,
expect.
but yeah, I think that will depend on how this. I mean, we will certainly, I think, promote that idea. I think it would be really helpful for everyone in the community to engage and familiarize themselves at least a little bit with this new reality.
I guess I'll just add what I hear in what you're saying is the need for AI literacy. And I know from what we've heard today how important that is. And so finding ways to get that into our curriculum, finding ways to get that into our classrooms, and structurally into our institution is something that's really important. And so I think, I don't know, in our work, in our research, in this work in the Institute, I feel like we're all looking for sort of examples, models, ideas to propose sort of at the university level. What can we do? What would that look like? So we're really sort of working to, our project is really to learn about what's happening in our community and what we can learn sort of from this institute that we're at. So this is an ongoing project, and we welcome ideas, contributions, questions that you think we should pursue too.
Great, Rita. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.